Well, if you weren't entertained before, you sure as hell should be now. 2 series in a row at 1-1 at match point. These teams are fighting for their lives here at Proving Grounds. Huh?
4 in a row, because yesterday we had the same thing too.
Ooh, I like this.
Spicy.
I like this. This is what I want from my Proving Grounds. I don't want anybody fizzling out. I want it to be blood and tears for the teams continuing and going home after these series. That's exactly what 100 Thieves Academy and FlyQuest are giving us. A complete turnaround, a complete 180, a slow game. Cubby, I know that Magical even said it. It felt like LCK all over again. Maybe not quite as the same level. Maybe I should put us on that level. But in terms of, action happening.
We very much should.
All right. As long as Magical is okay with it. But Colmer, I want to get your initial thoughts on why we saw such a slow start in that game. Because obviously we were watching from the sidelines and we had our own opinions as to why nothing happened for about 50 minutes in that game.
I think the biggest thing is both of these comps are totally fine just scaling into the later parts of the game. I mean, obviously on one end you have a Jinx Lulu with an Ornn, you have the safety net, or so we thought, in terms of if it goes late, we outscale. The other comp, you have Sever, Yuumi, Camille in the side lane against Ornn, which is a favorable matchup. So again, both teams probably were we don't really have to force anything. Neither probably felt like they were on a timer, so they were definitely waiting to pick their spots, and FlyQuest definitely found one around 22 minutes or so around the Baron, so.
As Magical struggling to stay awake for
I was getting bored during that. Sorry, Colomer. You're talking about just playing.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I'll do better.
Playing normal and not having memes and stuff like that.
I don't think it was you, Colomer. I think it was the fact that you just made Magical relive the first 15 minutes of that game again when he was already struggling. But with that said, we're gonna have a little bit of fun here while we get ready for pick and ban for game number 3 to decide who's going home and who's continuing on. While we play a little game that we call Pog of War. Now, the way that this one works, it requires some technology. I know that's maybe new. Future technology? No, this is actually very old technology. It's called a green screen. Now, Colomer can, represent somebody without a green screen behind them. Fun fact, me, Cubby, Magical do not actually all have the same wall. We have green screen technology. So what I'm going to need is for Magical to turn his off and give control of his green screen to production, who can output anything they want. Cubby, you can chill, you can have fun and just relax for this bit, because we can have production put anything behind Magical. He has no idea. Also, make sure that you minimize your screen, Magical, so that way you can't actually see. I forgot about that part of the instructions.
Yeah, you did forget about that, so I did see a little bit of the clip, I will be honest.
All right. Well, you're currently sword fighting yourself right now, so I'm going to need you to duel. I need you to fight somebody to the right of you. Do you have a weapon on you right now? Just yep. Just slap him around a little bit. There you go. Here we go. This is perfect. There we go. On guard, Magical. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a replay package behind Magical of some of the key moments from that play, and me and Colomer are gonna give him a couple useless hints and see if he can guess the replay package as we relive that last game. So production, are we ready with replay number 1? We can pull it up on the screen. I'm getting confirmation from Joey. Joey Wheeler, we're ready to run with the replay package number 1. Colomer, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Colomer, how are we going to do this?
Looks like she's a little bit late here.
A little bit. I can't believe you missed that one.
I'm just happy something's finally happening.
I know, finally, right? Oh, wait, don't call it a comeback?
It looks kind of close.
Oh, no, don't call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
No, this is really bad. It's bad that this is happening.
All right. Well, wake me up when the next thing happens. Magical, can you guess the replay behind you? What was happening?
22-minute fight.
Nope.
What was the fight? That's way too vague. I was looking at timestamps. Actually, I was looking at timestamps. Wait, I can actually confirm this because I did send our producer the timestamps.
Well, let's see if I'm right. I'm just taking a stab in the dark, honestly.
Okay.
I think it's the first fight.
Right, I will tell you that.
What objective?
The first, yeah. Give me some more context. What's happening behind you on the screen?
Your guess is more vague than our hints.
They're fighting around. I'm gonna imagine it's around the dragon. So okay. I'm gonna say it's the where it could have been the soul that was picked up by 100 Thieves, but they ended up losing the fight.
Okay, you're thinking soul that was picked up, they lost the fight. Let's go replay package number 2.
Okay.
And see what that one is, and then we'll come back and let you know if you got this one correct, okay?
Okay.
Hey, all right, King, wake up. Something is finally happening again.
Oh, wake up!
Something's happening?
Something's happening. Oh my
that
goodness,
was-
it's happening.
That was actually
wait,
that
this,
was really
this
really
seems
clean.
too easy. Yeah,
This
wait,
is
no,
pretty
this
easy.
this isn't how the script is supposed to go.
Yeah, I don't think that this is what Joey wrote for the script.
Yeah, this is opposite from last time.
Yeah, we're
usually
gonna have to
when I
talk
think
with
about
Joey.
these champs slapping each other, this is not what I expect at this stage.
Yeah, that
I hate it when you
that
miss
one
your
died
horn.
really fast.
Man, if I had a nickel for every ram I've missed.
I do know this
All right,
one.
Magical,
This is
what
the
do you think's
Baron-
behind you?
This is the Baron team fight where Tenacity kind of got like caught in the middle, and he tried to horn, but wasn't able to actually connect it on into anybody. And it was how FlyQuest were kind of playing around that terrain right there, out where the blast gun normally spawns, right on the top side of the map.
That Magical's the goat.
That
All
timing
right.
too was pretty sick.
He's the
That
goat.
timing was pretty slick. All right, well, we got to go back in correct order. So, production, I'm going to need you to replay the first package. Magical, pull back up your screen so you can see what's behind you. We're going to... Oh, no, not the green screen. Keep the green screen down, you silly. Just pull up so you can actually see what's on
You gotta
monitor.
have more clear instructions here, I swear.
So the first replay, you were
So-
close. This was the dragon fight. This was the first fight of the whole freaking game. This was
wasn't that
literally
22 minutes
first
into
blood.
the game?
16.
Oh.
It was like 15:40 to 16:10.
Look,
or
I'll be
something
honest,
like
I
that.
lost track of time because I wanted more fights.
You know what? That's fair
Yeah,
enough. But
you
this
fell
was
asleep,
the
didn't you,
moment,
buddy?
right, Colomer? Like, this was BMFX's double kill. This was supposed to be what sets 100 Thieves up to win.
Yeah, this is basically where it's like, oh, like one of the hyper carries finally got 2 kills. They're accelerated, like we're kind of chilling, and then obviously our next play kind of threw all that out the window. So
Mm-hmm. Can I get you to flick Yuji away here, Magical?
I
Oh,
can't. No, because the
Missed
green
it.
screen will cut off.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Well, you were close. You were close. I'll give you a half point for this one. Let's take a look at the second replay and see how close Magical was guessing that one. I gotta spoil it. It was spot on, man. This was really good. The second fight.
He's the GOAT.
This was literally the second fight that happened. Oh, that Oranhorn missing. Imagine that lands. Imagine that hits on all the members of FlyQuest, and then BMFX is able to free fire, but no, they lose their front line. They don't land the CC. And then FlyQuest just keep running forward. Really well played from FlyQuest here.
shout out to Yuji
And-
for that
yeah.
engage. That engage is game winning right there. So a lot of credit to him.
And I don't wait. What's the knockup here? There's another knockup. Oh, it's just the second Wukong ult. All right, I didn't even catch
Yeah,
that
it's
the
the
first
clone.
time around. So it's double Cyclone on the same target.
Big brain.
Your big brain. All
He's
right, we gotta
next
do something
level,
funny.
baby.
While we have Magical on screen, we gotta do something before we can come back from this. So can I have you like bop up Tenacity twice in a row here? Okay, wait, bop up the second time. You're bop.
Your headbutting?
Close enough. There we go. All right, well,
Take
that's Fog of War, everybody. We can come back now to all of us and break down a little bit more of what happened in that series, but most importantly, what comes next. Because,
Game
Oliver,
3.
this is game. Well, yes, that is what happens next. But
Yes,
Correct.
big brain.
this is
Big brain.
elimination on the line for one of these teams. If you're in the shoes of either a coach or GM, whatever in the back room, what are you talking to for these players? What's your message to either team to get them ready for this final game?
I mean, both teams won a game of the series, and both of them I felt were pretty not easy victories, but very like confident. Like they weren't like a base race or anything like that. So you know that you can beat the team that you're playing against, and you kind of just want to remind your players like, hey, good mental, don't stress out. Like you're probably draft for comfort or something like that. Wouldn't surprise me to see maybe Tenacity on more of a carry champion instead of Orin this game, for example. But basically just making sure that your players are confident and good mental, and hopefully not super ego destroyed before you go into game 3. Which for 5 of these guys is going to be their last game of the season before off season. So,
All right. Well, you heard it from Colomer. Strong mental. Don't destroy your ego. Play something that you're comfortable on. All the things that these players need to focus on going into this deciding game number 3. Loser goes home. Winner continues into the top 6, and we'll have a best of 5 against AoE Ginger Turmeric ahead of them. So, for the last time for the day, Magical Cubby, take it away.
For the last time of the best of 3s as well. The second seed team, will they fall to the Cursed Cubby, or will they get their chance to have the rematch against the amateur team that had knocked them down into the lower bracket? The only way to find out is by getting into the draft here. As we can see, you're still banned away from Tenacity, first ban every single time, but seeing some adaptations. The Trundle ban pretty early by FlyQuest this time around, and the Sivir on the other side.
And the FLYA ban this time by FlyQuest. Keep in mind that was the first ban that 100 Thieves had on Red Side Game 1 and 2 against FlyQuest. So some adaptations coming out here from each team. I got to say, Tomo, FlyQuest definitely warranted that Sivir ban. Particularly though, Wukong is still up and Yuumi is also up. So I'm really curious if 100 Thieves denies the Yuumi this time. I know Busio is the playmaker, someone we really hype up in this matchup, and I lied because it's not going to be a Yuumi deny. It is going to be a Lucian Nami deny.
Yeah, Lucian Nami deny.
Here comes Aphelios, though.
Aphelios has to be the expected result to
boy.
go up against that. And yeah, oh boy is right. Getting this Aphelios that Tomo has been doing so well on with Lulu in that bot lane to try to help neutralize any of that early lane power that Lucian Nami might be able to provide is a good look for FlyQuest at the moment.
I mean, we saw 100 Thieves play the same lane into the Lucian Nami of FlyQuest in game 1. And 100 Thieves were able to neutralize it. And Tomo, again, cannot emphasize how good Tomo has been in this tournament coming into today, averaging up 1,100 gold on his opponent at the 15-minute mark. Tomo has been destroying lanes. He destroyed that last game on the Sivir over time, and now empowered with his Aphelios, the champ that he had played 5 out of the 6 games on coming into the day of Proving Grounds. It is in his hands in this game 3.
Ooh, and here, this is just where things are rough if you're a fan of 100 Thieves, because this almost, even if it's not identical, has elements to what we saw in the last game for FlyQuest at the moment. More scaling options, more ways to drag out the game long. While 100 Thieves, they have doubled down on having more exciting plays earlier on. Will on the Lee Sin for the 3rd time in a row, but with a powerful bot lane to back him up.
I wonder if we're setting up a Gwen or a LeBlanc here, as I think LeBlanc Lee Sin is a way that 100 Thieves can win the game. That Ahri ban is one, a Kali ban. That's what kind of tells me that Gwen could be an option here for Tenacity, but 100 Thieves really taking their time debating the last ban they have potentially of this season.
I would imagine FlyQuest, they'd probably ban the Gwen here, right?
We'll see. I think Gwen's an option for Tenacity. I mean, if he does go Gwen, though, it's going to be probably a Kayle for Kumo. And that's been damn good. But, no, okay. FlyQuest, they do want to respect that Gwen. We'll take that off the board. Mid lane matchup is open. I'm really curious if it's going to be a Jimmy and LeBlanc, something like that. We could see a Spyrex Rise, too, yeah.
It is a good angle for that Jimmy and LeBlanc as well as Spyrex Rise. You talked about that's something that he's been playing for quite some time. Spyrex having a very large champion pool. He can play many, many different champions, and we've seen that over his career. We get Jimmy in a do or die game 3, locking in one of his best champions in LeBlanc, while Spyrex gets the Rise counter.
Not bad. I do my homework here, Mad Magical, as will be the tank pick for Kumo, most likely Sejuani. No surprises, and all of this, I gotta say, I really like FlyQuest draft. I feel like on blue side, they're ahead at this point. They have good peel for the Aphelios between the Wukong, the Lulu, the Rise. They have an ability to make early plays, have an ability to keep this LB down. It all comes down to 5-pick Tenacity. We saw what Tenacity was able to do with 5-pick in game 1. It was the Aurelia. Now, Sejuani showing, see what Tenacity has up his sleeve for game 3.
Aatrox going for the matchup that he faced off against in game 1. I like it as well.
Aatrox interacts really well with all the champions that FlyQuest are showing, frankly. So we'll see if Tenacity can really cash in on this pick. He was a big difference maker for 100 Thieves Academy in game 1. Been someone that has been one of, if not the strongest top laner that we've had in Academy and PG. And Tenacity is a chance to prove that here with 5-pick. He went with his Aatrox. It's good in everything FlyQuest is showing. I think a lot's on his shoulders to make sure he steps up for his team in this game 3.
I look at him. I look at Will back on the Lee Sin again. Looking at Jimmy on LeBlanc. A lot of comfort on the side of 100 Thieves Academy with the backs against the wall. Both teams do or die. Elimination on the line. We get comfort for both sides of the equation.
I think one thing that I'm really looking out for is how LeBlanc and Jimmy is able to play around this Lulu. Because LB, if you go forward at the wrong time, you are dealing with a polymorph, Sejuani ult being thrown at you, Wukong coming at you, maybe trying to go to the spot that you distorted from. Jimmy and LeBlanc, it's really good. He's a great assassin player. there are tools that FlyQuest can use to deal with it. And if they are able to, it's a big advantage. If not, Jimin can rain down a lot of poke. And that's one thing that I'm looking out for this game. 100 Thieves, they have range advantage. That could be a big difference in a slower game. We've seen that be very pivotal in this series already.
But, you know, this is a game where there's a lot of pressure. And we already talked about the youngins on the side of 100 Thieves Academy. The experience on the side of FlyQuest. Which will be able to come out on top in a clutch scenario in a do-or-die matchup. 100 Thieves Academy, FlyQuest Academy, both of them grouped up for level 1 shenaniganeries.
This has been a great matchup. A great best of 3. Really well played by each side at points in this series. Party would hate to see it come down to a 5v5 level 1. But another part, casting with Mad Magical, I would kind of love that in kind.
Would that not be appropriate with me casting?
I mean, I feel like it's appropriate just for Proving Grounds and Academy as an event as a whole, as it will be a late move from Busio, but FlyQuest are wiser to it.
Yep, so
we'll see if their bot lane checks here, as no ward will be dropped.
Nah. They don't see anybody. They didn't see anybody on that play. Passing ships in the night. Recalls executed on both sides, so they're not too late to their waves with minions having just spawned.
We get the scoreboard to drop and pop back up real quick. That'd be great too. As I did see a couple sweepers being used. Yeah, there we go. A couple swaps out here, as it will be topside starts with each jungler working towards the bot side. Ooh. We will see if this Lucian Nami deny the pickup for 100 Thieves Academy can make a difference again. This Thane was in the hands of FlyQuest Game 1. FlyQuest Thane was in the hands of 100 Thieves Academy Game 1. Things are flip-flopped. We were hyping up the bot lanes coming into this. Let's see if they can get the better of the mirror matchup.
How well Tomo and BMFX have been playing as well on more of these scaling champions. Tomo on Aphelios, one of the champions he's been performing the best on in Proving Grounds. I want to see what Will does in order to help alleviate some of that pressure we know Tomo and Diamond are going to exert on BMFX and Busio initially.
Love to see Diamond Tomo stepping up. And Diamond Tomo, I mean, FlyQuest, week 1 of the Academy season, they were playing Aphelios Janna and winning games, winning lanes with that. And Tomo, Aphelios has been his most played this split, returning to it in this game 3. It's been so good. Tomo's been so good in this tournament. Really do feel like this mirror matchup should go the side of FlyQuest. I prefer the Aphelios Lulu in lane to the Lucian Nami, but later, you do have some ways to outplay Lulu, utilizing the range. So we'll see if 100 Thieves Academy bot lane is up to that.
We also saw the detriment that Lucian can have late in the game against Aphelios with the right gun setup. Hard for him to get in range to actually do that damage necessary to force him out of some of these fights. So BMFX, will you utilize your power when you get later into the game? As right now, it's exactly as expected. Though Diamond, I had to flash away. You can't step that far forward. I know you have lane dominance at the moment, but it's still Lucian Nami.
That's 2 summoner spells that are big being used by FlyQuest. And 100 Thieves, they still have heal on Busio, so that's important moving forward in this matchup, as we haven't talked about the junglers that much, but they are going to meet each other. Will snags the crab, though. So it is bot lane prio here for FlyQuest, but not able to use it for anything, and overall, 100 Thieves feel pretty good about the early game.
Yeah, I'd feel fine with that. You got the Flash Ignite that you talked about out of Diamond. Got the Scuttle Crab initially for Will, the contest that was between Will and Yuji, and now Yuji is not near mid. This is Will looking for the first attack in the mid lane, trying to see if he can connect on his fire, but with the chains not, it's over.
Well done. Will pick up the other crab. I had my first Will, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the sentence Buffalo, 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 Buffalo.
Yeah, of course, that one.
It's an actual sentence.
Really? I mean, you did just say it.
Buffalo. No. You say Buffalo 7 times. It's a real sentence with actual meaning. Yeah. I'm not gonna go over all of that right now because there's a whole thing to break down with it. Yeah, exactly. So it's a fun little fact if you ever want to use on people. But in this game, that's not gonna be useful because we don't have a buffalo. We have a boar. We have a boar.
There it is. You got it to relate back.
I did. I find a way. I always find a way.
I always have faith in you, Mad Magical.
Well, and I kind of want to even turn our attention to the top lane, because this lane is panning out the way you'd expect the Aatrox versus Sejuani matchup to be. It's difficult for Sejuani to really do anything against Tenacity, and that's why you're calling up Yuji, looking to see if he can possibly make a play, maybe even get a little bit of damage, but with the flash still available for Tenacity, there it is, burning it just to get away.
And Tenacity knew that timer was possible. He dropped the trinket in the brush, but Kumo was still able to find it. As Tenacity is actually sitting on a second trinket, so that was might do him some favors here. Should be able to stay in this lane. Okay, flash is down, but Aatrox very strong at the moment.
Gonna do a lot of damage to Kumo. Doesn't really have that much mana. Even calling up Will. Look for a play counteracted in this top lane. Kumo playing a little bit too greedy at the moment. Yuji's not in the vicinity just yet, and with the ward hop from Will, trying to delay for Yuji to be able to show up, but he is dead. Will claims first blood.
Nice recognition from Will, the rookie junglers. We were teasing them coming into this series. Will, someone that has top 4 proving grounds with Dignitas, looking to get back, stay alive in this game 3. Comes up, the big play is now another brilliant sidestep from Spyrax. Man, Spyrax has been damn good in this series. Sidestepping the LB will prevent more blood, more sums going over to the hands of 100 Thieves Academy, but hey, first move comes up big for them. Tenacity gets ahead, Will picks up the kill.
And can use that to translate other leads elsewhere. Primarily looking at how you can tag team with Jimmy on this LeBlanc to rotate around the map, especially towards the spot lane. Buffalo.
Yeah, you know what? It's a slow game, man, Magical. I'm just making sure that, you know, I use some of, you know, spread things out. Get to take a deep breath here later into the day. We get to pop off at the right times, and the pop-offs sound cooler. That's what we're looking for.
All right, I took my one breath at the stream.
Yeah, didn't have to mute the mic for that one, but things are all good here. As Tenacity,
Getting a good amount of damage with the help of the turret.
He's got an ult.
Ooh, ult for ult.
I think it's still good for him.
Looking for the Darkened Blade. 1, 2. Is it going to be 3 on Kumo? It will only be a little bit of damage on the outskirts of it. Kumo's out of there. No, he's not dead. Had the center sweep point connected, he would have had him.
Oh, all right. Tenacity still able to force the Sejuani out of lane, and now he's got 6.
This is the play I wanted to see. The flash in kicking into the wall diamond, so there was no way to escape.
And 100 Thieves, some of these comfort picks for them paying off in this game 3, as they've been the ones that have been able to make plays early. They're the ones that have priority. As, oh boy, this cover from Yuji's so good.
Yuji's there. They lose Tomo, though. They got a lot of damage on the Busio and BMFX, but without ult, what could Yuji do to lock him under the turret?
2 sums from Busio. They connect on the play, and now Tomo's set behind too. So 100 Thieves, both their side lanes have gotten ahead early. Game 1 in this series, take your minds back. 100 Thieves, it was really the side laners that were the big difference in making sure that game 1 went in their favor. Will has gotten each side lane ahead here. It's a 2k gold lead at 8 minutes. As Will, this Lee Sin's been huge for 100 Thieves.
Coming up strong in the final game that has so much stakes for both sides.
Yeah.
We wanted to see these early plays in game 1, game 2 out of Will. We're seeing it in game 3 when it matters the most.
It's a full Rift Herald swap here from each team, too. I gotta say, since 100 Thieves is matching, I think this favors them. There are no ults, though, for supports. And getting ult for Busio and BMFX would be massive. So I want to see 100 Thieves actually reset this Rift Herald, hit the mid wave, and see if that's enough to get level 6 for BMFX and Busio. I can't tell. BMFX did just hit 6.
Oh, he did, and so now you've got the damage onto the Rift Herald.
Big.
With Will and Tenacity on the other side, looking to see if they can get the chains connected on to Spyrax. They do. They get damage onto one, but it's going to be thrown back. Smite away from Will. Will falls, loses his life, but Jimmy picked up the eye. Here comes the Realm Warp, cutting off the retreat that would have been 100 Thieves' escape route. But with them having the dashes available, they're out of there. Busio, he's going to be the only one. He knows that his path is into the grave. The best he can do is delay time out of FlyQuest, as they got themselves the eye, but they lost 2 for it.
I gotta say, 100 Thieves going for that full contest was a little bit risky. And Tenacity isn't able to trade anything else, as he did TP bot. We'll get the wave in, but FlyQuest, they lose the Rift Herald. They pick up 2 kills and a dragon that's really big as Will. I mean, he walks in, he hits the eye and smites it, but he gets polymorphed and he goes down immediately, and 100 Thieves are split off that. So it was a very expensive take. I gotta say, I'm not exactly sure if that's worth it or not. The fact they dropped 2 and dropped the Dragon, but 100 Thieves trying to use their early comp. FlyQuest played around it very nicely there.
They did, and honestly, after the play, we kind of saw a little bit of what was happening at the very beginning of the replay. The Dragon take on top of it makes it even more worthwhile for FlyQuest. So not only did they get 2 kills, get some gold back in their pockets, they put it onto Spyrex, and they got themselves the first Dragon of the game.
FlyQuest needed something to get into this game. And now, looking at where those kills went, 2 kills onto Spyrex, an early crown for him. This rise to counter the LeBlanc, going to be very powerful and very difficult to move out of that lane as 100 Thieves. And I got to say, not many things to pop the crown. So I like the crown pickup this game for Spyrex.
I do too. I like that. It's the safety that you get when you have the crown, especially against assassins. I'm going to quantify Will as an assassin just because how least intense to play. Plus Lucian. He's got a lot of burst damage provided. Jimmian as well. Gives him a lot of extra safety. And right there, you see the chains connect. Gets the Rune Prison on him, so he forced Jimmian away instead of vice versa.
And it's a 1 trade, given the crown, as Will really slow down the windows he can punish with the LB is, of course, coming and 6 is in. FX just using it with first strike to try pepper some damage onto the bot lane of FlyQuest, but FLYA should be able to manage things with guns. That is the one thing that is going for 100 Thieves, I think, heavily in this game. The bot lane getting the kill on the Tomo, getting Will, the visit today, very big to making sure that this Lucian Nami can get ahead. And we will see if BMFX can snowball it through. We've been praising his improved play, improving ground. Big chance to step up in this one.
Spyrex will be connected with that. Has a lot of damage. He throws back onto Jimmy, and when he goes golden as well. What a use of the stopwatch from Spyrex to deny that play from 100 Thieves.
I love the look from Busio and 100 Thieves, but man, Spyrex has been really, really good in the game 2 and now game 3 of this series, stepping up big. This rookie now in his 2nd split of Academy. Spyrex has been someone that stepped up early. I mean, thinking back to the GGA series, his Yasuo was unbelievable. One of the reasons that FlyQuest won a back-and-forth game 1, Spyrex sent so much praise about Tomo, some of the other members of FlyQuest that are stepping up in Proving Grounds. Spyrex definitely has been someone doing that throughout this tournament. Big play from him there to neutralize that look from 100 Thieves.
Well, and that's where we talk about how there's more of the rookie status, the younger players on 100 Thieves, but it's the rookies on FlyQuest that keep stepping up as well. Yuji, Spyrex, looking so good. As now they pop down this Rift Herald 100 Thieves, look to see if they can take some plates, but there was almost an attempted plate in the mid lane. Looking to see if they can collapse on to Yuji and Spyrex. The Realm Warp away to safety. He'll be fine.
It's nasty. He did walk down mid to hover after he crashed the wave top. And we'll just make sure that gold goes over to the side of 100 Thieves Academy as they drop the Rift Herald, get some plates, and keep that gold lead at 2K in their favor.
Yeah, it's good that they were able to keep that lead on their side, get themselves some plates in the bot lane, and continue to have a pretty sizable lead in the bot lane. But the big thing is now we have to look at who has the lead on FlyQuest, and it's still Spyrex. You can see Yuji's hanging around him at all points because he is looking to play around the player they know they have an advantage with.
We also have some back and forth here between our 2 junglers as each are looking for setups on the bot side. BMFX
rolling.
Yeah, nice damage here.
But the Moonlight Vigil dodge away. And now Yuji finds Will, kicks back. He tries to cycle it out. They got the wild growth, but it's going to be Diamond sacrificing his life, and it doesn't actually help out because Yuji's still very low. Same with Tomo. Minion waves about to crash. It's up to Spyrex to be the one that can save this play for FlyQuest, chasing away the Thieves.
But Spyrex is just here on a hover. The play's over, and it's Jimmian getting plates mid right before they fall. So a huge play from 100 Thieves Academy. And Busio, that tidal wave, he pretty much predicted the flash of Diamond to make sure that they were able to get at least a kill on that engage. Really well done by the side of 100 Thieves Academy.
Getting themselves more plays for themselves. Another kill for BMFX. He's already got the Gale Force.
Yeah.
The plates they picked up mid lane. A lot goes right. 400 Thieves, and that's why they have a nearly 3,000 gold lead with only 14 minutes into the game.
The plates were really big going on to Jimmian, who was set behind behind the power curve, given the kills that Spyrex got early from that Herald fight. Is now Jimmian still short of that Ludens, but getting closer. That is a big spike for the LeBlanc, but at the moment, all the strengths in the 100 Thieves bot lane, and I gotta give BMFX credit. He's piloting this Lucian Nami very well.
Yes, it's making sure that he gets these early leads, because you talked about it before with how First Strike Lucian also works. You have some power early into the game. When you get 3 items, you become even scarier into these fights.
Yeah, the rune is definitely more for an item spike later instead of, you know, PTA early trying to bully out lanes. I think that people figured out that, hey, I can't use PTA to bully out in a FLYA's Lulu, but I can use First Strike to get the 3 items first, and that's a very big spike for our marksman. So, see if BMFX can do that. Tomo did it in the last game, despite being behind as a team. This time around, Lucian is ahead. So, see if BMFX can continue to really step up and continue to prove his might in Proving Grounds. Oh boy!
Ooh, he went forward on that play. There's the tidal wave to disengage the fight that Yuji could have thrown back on 100 Thieves. So it will be Thieves pushing back the minion waves, looking to see if they can gain control of the second Rift Herald of the game.
Meanwhile, Tenacity and Kumo trading some love taps, which of course Aatrox is going to win out on with Conquer. And this trading here, Kumo does have TP, but health bar advantage going over to 100 Thieves, and Tenacity could open up a look at a second Rift Herald.
Though, I'm a little surprised. I thought 100 Thieves would have already been on the objective looking for that play in the first place, but they're not. Instead, they're looking to push back the minion wave again before resetting.
At the moment, both teams playing out 3 lanes, and we're seeing, you know, the Ryze win the one side, which we expect, especially given the lead that Ryze was able to get early. Jimmy's not on a Mythic, but also Tenacity winning out of the top side's big, and that's where the objective lies at the moment, as second Rift Herald. I think this is 100 Thieves favored. Not a very bold take, given the fact that Tenacity is winning this top lane, but Spyrax did get shoved bot, has rotated up first. So Jimmy is showing on this bot wave. We will see if 100 Thieves decides to contest this, or if they're just going to trade it out for a tower on the Jimmy.
I think they noticed that Spyrax is there, so now they don't actually want to fully fight this, or do they?
Oh,
they will be secured by FlyQuest, but they turn for Tenacity. That's going to be the calling. Body blocked by the Crown that made sure that did no damage to Spyrax. Tenacity got so much attention from the other side, they can dive back in with the cycle coming in. They've got the damage. BMFX, what damage can he do? Spyrax tried to take down one, but he couldn't do anything, even with the wild growth on top of Will. Kumo surviving. They get no kills on top of it, only the eye of the Rift Herald. Maybe they can make this play onto BMFX, who overstepped a little too far. The tidal wave did not connect. They have the health advantage on the side of 100 Thieves only because they have the man advantage.
And that fight from 100 Thieves, something they're doing really well in this series, splitting up the members of FlyQuest. They attacked the choke and got FlyQuest to retreat in 2 different directions. It's really lucky for FlyQuest they only dropped 1 member there. Could have been a much worse fight as Tomo and Yuji both isolated by 100 Thieves. They're playing these fights around the terrain really well. I love where they're taking them.
Yeah, we get a look at this replay. Like I said, Culling was completely absorbed by Spyrax, but
look at this.
It's the re-engaged fight after.
Yeah, and Spyrax can't step up, and they attack in the choke. They force Tomo, Yuji, they split the fight. They force them to retreat, not with the rest of the team. That's really solid team play coming out from 100 Thieves Academy. As Spyrax just never able to get involved. FlyQuest went a little bit too deep into the choke. They get punished by 100 Thieves.
But they did claim the eye. They still have that advantage to their name, and it's on Yuji, so they can look to rotate that around. Might even look to continue to funnel more and more gold into Spyrax.
And we do have 90 seconds until Baron, and 2 minutes until Ocean Soul, which one of the weaker souls that we have on this patch in the game. Bad roll here for 100 Thieves Academy, as they're the ones ahead early. But we will see if they can keep on stacking up these dragons. They have been playing the map out very well, and the lead they have on the top side very big in this game, as Jimmy-in.
He'll be able to distortion away. Doesn't want to pop that Cyclone. Not really necessary. It was just a love tap, trying to see if they can force him out of the lane. He doesn't have TP, so it will take some time before he can rejoin a fight.
I think a big part about this series has actually been... Oh, hold on.
Oh, Realm Warp. Yuji. The bubble did not connect. They've got the damage in the backline. Moonlight Vigil connected. They've got Yuji bounced around, but the wild throat is on to Kumo. But Tenacity's chasing down Yuji. Can they actually commit? Can anybody fall in the fight? It will be the members of FlyQuest that fall. Spyrax, he's doing his understands this. He takes one with him, looks for more, tries to trade back onto Buzio, but Jimmy and makes sure that he is mince meat. Diamond and Kumo, the last ones left. Tenacity, he is chasing, he is hungry, he is not about to be eliminated in the proving ground without proving he is the best top laner that we have seen in Academy.
And that fight from Tenacity, I was about to say, one of the big differences in this game has been the top lane, the priority. It was game 2, Kumo had the counter pick and the Tenacity used it really well with FlyQuest, but this time, it's Tenacity, the R500 Thieves Aatrox. He has shove in the side lane. That is what enables him to be at the fight in the first place, as Kumo was answering the bot wave. So Tenacity was here on the hover, and Tenacity, again, this fight gets split. Tomo can't run through this choke. He gets zoned out by BMFX and Will, who find him early, and because they can't follow up onto Tenacity, there's not enough damage, and he just crushes this fight as the Aatrox.
Tenacity cannot be stopped in these fights, just how much damage he's pumping out, the healing he has on his side as well. This looks like it is about to be a Tenacity 1v9 with how he's playing this Aatrox thus far.
And Aatrox is such a good pick this game, because not only can you play it into the lane for Sejuani, but the range is limited on the side of FlyQuest. They have to really capitalize off of a Wukong ult or a Sejuani ult to get kills and get picks, but in a long fight, Aatrox can interact with everyone well on the side of FlyQuest, and we're really seeing that come through, as Tenacity was just so big in that one as Jimmyin. Stay disciplined.
He's smart. Is he though? Let's see. Spotted out, rotating further. There are members of 100 Thieves already rotating towards the top lane. There's going to be the distortion away. It is very risky out of FlyQuest. They have to have this pick work now, but they notice the members are here, so they'll realm warp away, getting the TP out of Tenacity as well. So this means 100 Thieves have to turn for something if they want to make it worth.
It's a good gambit here by FlyQuest, as getting the TP out of Tenacity is big. They will drop that top outer, but they can actually answer a bot outer in return. When you're down 5k gold, you'll take any even trade you can find across the map. Really well done there by Spyrax and Yuji.
Not only 5k, you're at the precipice of being knocked out of the Summer Proving Grounds. There's so much pressure onto a team, especially when they're behind 5k, almost 6k gold to the young team of 100 Thieves Academy, who want to get themselves back into the finals for a third time in a row.
And Tenacity can't answer that outer turret, so it's just FlyQuest getting the TP and trading up across the map. Really, really good stuff from them.
Now FlyQuest, they are still on that back burner. They're hoping for anything. Maybe even a pick in the bot lane onto Jimmyin, but he has double distortion with that Mimic to get away from Kumo. And this makes it all the more dire, wondering what FlyQuest can possibly do to make sure they can bounce back in this game.
I think it's just picks. They have to find a sound engage off of Wukong plus Sejuani plus Wild Growth and chain that into a kill. That's the big key here for FlyQuest, but one of the tough parts about it is that Aatrox is so strong, they can never get priority in a side lane so that they can move there first.
And that's also the problem. Is if you focus down Aatrox, then you got to worry about Jimmyin and you got to worry about BMFX. You focus on the Jimmyin, Tenacity, BMFX, Jimmyin, and Tenacity. It's hard to say, yes, let's get a pick onto this one member. Just look at the movements on the map that 100 Thieves are going for. They're all over the place, making sure there's no possibility for those picks.
Jimmyin coming out of base here. 100 Thieves respecting that on the map as Diamond will clean up that ward. Baron on the table. And it is BMFX getting very close to that 3-item spike we were talking about, this first strike Lucian. He's getting close to that Infinity Edge. And I gotta believe, looking at the inventories at the moment, when it's Death Cap plus IE for 100 Thieves, that's when they're gonna look to hit things very hard. Because look at the items, the inventories, the counterparts. It's Rise. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, Will. He tried to go for a cheeky play there. He got bounced around by that Cyclone, so he took a lot of damage. They even got the Wild Growth on the Will. You bit off more than you could chew. Tenacity, he's kiting back the best he can. He's got BMFX in his inventory. He's looking for the play back into the face of FlyQuest. Bouncing around Kumo so they can get a killing spree for Tenacity.
Look at Tomo.
Jimmy on the flank. Can they pick up these members? They got him done, but they don't have the damage to take anyone down. They will fall. It's Tomo now. 1 versus the world. Flashing in to take down BMFX, but he had to trade his life for it.
Honestly, Tomo flashing in for that 1-for-1 is big, because that means the Baron cannot be taken by 100 Thieves. I think that's a great call from Tomo. just to trade in. It makes sure that like, if they lose Baron at this point of the game, this game is almost done and dusted. So that play might have looked goofy. That's a great call from Tomo to make sure that he trades out the marksman of 100 Thieves Academy. But it's a better play, better setup from 100 Thieves Academy as Will gets caught out. FlyQuest thinks it's their time to shine. We can come back. We have Lee Sin eating 3 tower shots before this fight even gets going. He falls before it even gets going. But tenacity is way too damn big this game.
This is kind of what I was saying. Yeah, you get the pick on a one member, but then you have to worry about the others. Tenacity is gargantuan. You can't really stop him unless he's completely by himself, zoned away. Otherwise, you're just going to get cleaned up by 100 Thieves.
That's such a gutsy play from Jimian. He knows he's going to eat the polymorph there, but it's huge. And then Tomo the back half. Again, I really think flashing to get BMFX here is game saving. Like, if the marksman is allowed to live, that's Baron going over for free to 100 Thieves. He had to trade his flash and trade out there to make sure that's not the case. Because of that, the objective stands. FlyQuest are still in this game.
But it doesn't mean this game's any easier.
Yeah,
the TP from Tenacity, popping the battle song to try to get away from the battle.
Zoning. It's just zoning. They're just going to try and check the Baron and then retreat straight to the Dragon. As Tenacity, he could do that because he had bot push. And look at Tenacity. He's level 16.
Yeah.
This point, he's got 2 levels on everyone else in the game, Mad Magical. This Aatrox is massive.
Gubby, this is Tenacity. This is the Tenacity long awaited that everyone has talked about, who's hyped him up throughout his entire career. And we're getting to see that when everything is on the line. Do or die. Win this game or get knocked out of the Proving Grounds, shy of the mark that they've set for themselves, which is nothing less than the finals.
Now, you're telling me, man, my first paid cast, I got to cover 100 Thieves next with Tenacity and Kenby. And I mean, Tenacity's always been a player that has hype behind him. And for Tenacity, it was really about rounding out his play. But we always knew, and have always known, that as a carry player, Tenacity is different. And at every level that he's competed at, he's been able to separate himself from the competition. Doing so again in this game when his team needs him the most. Tenacity stepping up is something we love to see.
Okay, BMFX Tomo. Oh, it's going to be BMFX winning the trade. The TP behind from Jimian as well to make sure the retreating members of FlyQuest are chased back. They're herded towards their base with the Baron on the line.
I think that's it for the Baron. I don't think that FlyQuest can actually commit to a fight. Aphelios needs to do so much damage in this composition. And Aphelios just never able to get off the ground. That trade that Will had bought early was so big. They took the damage away from FlyQuest. Rise Sejuani, that's at the highest damage solo laners that you have. You really need to rely on this Aphelios to make something happen. Not able to do it as Tomo getting focused down by the bot lane 100 Thieves Academy. And BMFX and Busio, this very young Academy bot lane, stepping up into Tomo and Diamond, who have been in good form in this tournament. Again, everything that 100 Thieves needed to have go their way in Game 3 has, as their players are the ones doing it.
The growth of BMFX as a player from the spring where he was on nothing but Senna duty to here being one of the primary carries for 100 Thieves Academy, looking to make that underdog run in the lower bracket, the full gauntlet.
Honestly, for BMFX too, like there were some games where we were looking at the scoreboard and he was like 1-5 when Busio was like 0-4. We're like, oh boy, like, you know, he really had to pick up competitive. He's someone that 100 Thieves, part of the reason they rolled the dice on him was even like solo queue, he wasn't a spammer. Like he was able to obtain a really high rank playing like 200, 400 games. They figured that if they could get him in this environment where he's playing more with their coaches, he would step up and be something throughout the split. And BMFX, credit to him. It was not an easy path, but he really has scaled into being someone that is actively contributing to 100 Thieves Academy wins instead of kind of riding along with what the team's doing. BMFX has stepped up massive in this game with Busio on this Lucian Nami. We'll see if he can continue to step up and make sure this one goes in their favor.
The bubble connects onto Kumo. Tenacity brought it out by the control board. That Baron buff should topple this tier 2 mid lane, giving more gold influx to 100 Thieves Academy. They are just one sneeze away, one good fight away from continuing their climb in the lower bracket.
Just gonna have to keep our eyes on BMFX if he does decide to pop the culling. As it was the last culling that BMFX made. Again, someone that you know, is not a passenger. That culling, that play in the mid lane to find Tomo, that's what got 100 Thieves this Baron and got them to this game state.
Okay,
Tenacity.
Tenacity taking a lot of damage, had to flash back with the World Ender so he could re-engage on Kumo. But it was also they can take another turret. They have only one now that remains available outside of the base of FlyQuest.
They're going to use the rest of their Baron just to get a clean reset, clean up their camps, and make sure they're ready for this Ocean Soul. As they did put themselves on Soul Point. And FlyQuest, I think any hopes for them, it really rides on funneling Tomo as much gold as possible, but Tomo is just behind the item curve. Like, he was set behind by 100 Thieves. The game plan, Will attacking bot in this comp, Rise Sejuani. You need your marksman to pump out a lot of damage, and the focus that 100 Thieves had to set Tomo behind the early game, the mid game, really paying dividends now is this 9k gold lead, and a marksman that's behind is really hurting them.
Oh, Julian! Rampage as he just annihilates Yuji.
And even the observers got us for that one on the hover. I'm going off my rant about the game plan 100 Thieves Academy, and Jimmy just comes in and one-shots Yuji. That's an inhibitor falling, and that's going to be full control for the Dragon if they decide to
game.
Pop
Let's
it.
see.
No.
They're playing it safe. They're backing out of this one.
It's a big game.
A 9,500 gold lead over FlyQuest. And they do not want to relent that just yet.
Spyrax and Tomo just came out of base. Spyrax, pretty close to death cap. And then Infinity Edge, pretty close for Tomo. They won't have it in time for this fight. 100 Thieves just maintaining full control over this bot side jungle, making it very difficult for FlyQuest to even get out on the map. Yuji is back from the gray screen chamber. They have to go through bot lane.
They do. And with how much control 100 Thieves have, as well as the item advantage across the board, 3.5 items for beam effect compared to the only 2.5 that Tomo has. This late game of failures they've relied on so many times. They can't. And look at the base. They're just calling the bluff. They're like, okay, if you're going to be outside of the base.
They stopped Tomo's base.
Oh, they did. Now they can look for Tomo. Yuji trying to defend him, but he snaps back by the chains. And Tomo will face death in the face of Tenacity. Looking for Yuji as well. Slams down the double kill.
Who needs Ocean Soul when he can find the kills? FlyQuest trying to get push in any of the lanes, but 100 Thieves, they're playing for the second inhibitor and the game, as I think that's going to be what breaks things for FlyQuest. Great find from 100 Thieves as that bot jungle control pays off. They split the recalls, get a couple bonus kills, and now get a second inhibitor.
There has to be one hell of a miracle out of Spyrax to save this game, with an inhibitor already taken so cleanly by 100 Thieves. Even though that Glacial Prison was on a perfect target, they can't do anything about it.
Nice bubble from Busio there, preventing Kumo, FlyQuest from the follow-up. But the follow-up for 100 Thieves Academy, it's all about this Ocean Soul, and again, the control that these guys are playing with, and how they're playing out two lanes. This is a much improved 100 Thieves Academy, and what has really been a hell of a best of three between our two Academy teams. I know we're going to be saying goodbye to one of them, but it really feels like this has been a high-level series from each of our teams, really trying to make plays with control on the map, playing towards win cons. I think each of our teams have done this rather well in these 3 games, in the 6 games that we've even had today. But it seems like 100 Thieves Academy just better on the day, Mad Magical. And they got one last good fight around this Baron to make sure this one goes in their favor.
And for FlyQuest, it is all on the back of Spyrax if they can claim this game back for themselves. He's got the gold, he's got the items necessary to combat against 100 Thieves, but they're all so far behind across the map that it's purely gonna be if they can find those picks still. 33 minutes into the game, 9,000 gold behind 100 Thieves. Can the experience pay off for FlyQuest in such a do or die moment?
I think FlyQuest needs an IE on Tomo. I mean, like, it's already so dire, but at this point, getting that item, getting that gold is big. So we'll see if Kumo decides to fire here. Oh,
they're looking for the fight. They're looking for the pick onto Jimmy, and he jukes them, though, with the double distortion away. Here comes the tidal wave, trying to get Jimmy out of danger, taking a lot of damage. He dives back in with the chain connecting, so taking a kill onto Tomo, but they've lost Jimmy. They also lose Big Tenacity, you have to do this. You have to win this fight for the team. Turn it around for 100 Thieves to continue improving grounds. They've got it all. They're chased back. FlyQuest, they look for the dive onto Yuji. The flashes come through, and they're taking out the members, the carries of FlyQuest. Tenacity doesn't even care about a silly old turd. He cares about continuing his progress, the domination from top lane for 100 Thieves.
And a valiant last breath from FlyQuest. They take down both carries, 400 Thieves, but Tenacity, he was the menace in this game. And he ends without falling once on the scoreboard, and he makes it happen for his squad as Tenacity and 100 Thieves Academy, they step up.
And the revenge arc is there for 100 Thieves. They'll have their rematch against AoE, Ginger, Turmeric, barely scraping by in this final again, knocking out the hopes of FlyQuest fans everywhere.
I gotta say, that was a hell of a best of three, man. My heart really goes out to FlyQuest. I thought they played a damn good series. The way that both these teams were slowing things down, playing around win cons, when they decided to throw haymakers, knowing there was someone out of it, thought there were a lot of good decisions being made on the Rift. Real bummer that we've had 100 Thieves have to go through EGA and FlyQuest Academy, two teams that I really feel like are better than where they exited this tournament. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, and we got a rematch ahead of us.
We do. We'll have the rematch from the first round between 100 Thieves Academy and AoE Ginger Turmeric. But for now, we're going to toss to a break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with the victorious 100 Thieves Academy. Make sure you watch for it. Hello, that's right, it's me. I'm betting what you're wondering what I'm doing here. Well, Cubby, want to explain to them?
Well, you know, sometimes remote broadcasts can throw us some curveballs, and we're trying to work through those right now as we're going to get Busio on an interview before we leave today.
Hopefully.
And we're here. We got the interview working. I'm joined by Busio from 100 Thieves Academy for a post-series interview to chat about the road to this point. First off, Busio, congratulations on making top 6. That's a big achievement.
Thank you.
You had to go through Diamond to get there. I don't know if you were aware of this, but we were pushing the rivalry going into it because the two of you had been interviewing and we've asked you about each other, and there's a little bit of spark there. So how'd it feel playing up against FlyQuest Academy at this point in the tournament? Did it go as expected? And also, how'd you think about your rival in Diamond?
I mean, going against FlyQuest, I was not that afraid. I was probably more concerned about our EGA match because I think they play through bot really well. FlyQuest, I know we have a big advantage mid, top, jungle. Like, if we just do whatever, I think we're fine. And Diamond being my rival, I mean, in this current meta, support doesn't have that much agency in game, just in like comms and calling. But you're playing Lulu and Yumi and Nami every game, you can't really carry from support.
I mean, you say that, but you also have the montage of kills with Lulu and got to pilot her as well in this last series. So I want to go down a track that it was interesting because Diamond actually brought this up in one of our interviews with him. The narrative around your development as a player, I know that we're all excited to see how far you can go in this proving grounds, but expectations versus actual performance on a day. To you, what are you focused on in this PG? Are you looking at that placement? Are you looking at like, I need to get that win because I was denied it last split? Or are you more focused on, look, just have good individual showing, prove that I am at that LCS level, and then I'm looking at 2023?
For me, it's mostly just each match at a time. I'm just focused on the next match. I definitely want to show I'm playing well, but more important for me is just winning every match, actually. So I sometimes sacrifice my individual play, and just in the game, I'm just thinking about what I can do for the team and to play the map better.
I like to hear that from especially the rookie years, because this is still your rookie year. A lot of people, I think, are forgetting that. But second proving grounds, last time you got into the top 2, you were second place. And I was looking at the average of everybody, outside of BMFX, of course, because he has not played in proving grounds yet. But the average placement of players on 100 Thieves Academy is 3rd place. Why do you think, with such a young roster, that these players have found so much success, even already making top 6 this summer?
Just clutch, you know? When you're on 100 Thieves, gotta be clutch. And when it's playoffs time, you gotta focus up. And as an org, I think we just do a really good job of playing well when it matters.
The clutch factor definitely is visible on the Rift, and now it's going to be hopefully coming into this next best of 5, because AoE Ginger Turmeric is your opponent next in the bracket, and they were the team that knocked you the first time around. So, what's going to be different this time around? Can we expect anything spicy from 100 Thieves Academy going into this, and what are your thoughts in general on the team?
We are definitely not going to lose. What we're going to do this time is identify, okay, they play weird champs. We need to change how we play and actually punish the weaknesses of their champ and also play to the strengths of our champ, because when they have a Karthus and he full clears at 305 and is already on the scuttle, we need to play around that and make better plans. And we'll do that, and we will definitely take the win.
Okay, so Will's been doing his VOD reviews. He's been looking at it, thinking when I can go in.
Absolutely.
All right, love to hear it. Any final words for any of the fans out there? Busio, anybody watching at home?
Yeah, thanks guys for supporting me and the team. I know the current meta from the support POV can be a bit boring, but just wait, the spice will come.
All right. Thank you, Busio. And make sure to give thanks to Golden Glue as well for giving us another Tenacity Orn meme, because I'm sure that we're going to run that on Twitter at some point today. So props to that. Thank you very much, Busio. Best of luck going into prep for your next match.
Thank you.
All right. We'll bring back out the casters here to close out the day. Busio, always a fun player to interview. Always fun to get into his head and kind of figure out where he's at, because, I mean, going into PG, yeah, that soundbite we got of like, look, if we're not winning the whole thing, like, what are we doing? Now in the lower bracket, I think he's a little more, yeah, a little more humbled here. Yeah, Magical?
He's at the 100 Thieves facility.
He's what?
You said, where is Busio at? He's probably at the 100 Thieves facility.
I don't know if I'm going to recover from that one, Cubby. Can you just take over for just a little bit here? While I catch my breath. Oh, I can't hear Cubby, actually. Is he muted? Cubby can't save me. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. He's back.
He just wanted you to stew in it for a bit.
I really like seeing 100 Thieves Academy. Like, there was a reason they're in the lower bracket, even though like it was a big upset. There is a reason they got beat, and I think they've really taken the things that they got beat by and tried to run with it, tried to improve. So, like playing side lanes, something that they did very well in this series, and still committing to the champs we've seen them have success on in the regular season, and just playing it cleaner was a really big difference for me in that game 3 especially. So big props to them. Sad to see FlyQuest go, but 100 Thieves, better team of the day, well deserved as they move into the best of 5s.
That is, of course, how the tournament bracket works. There's always got to be a winner and a loser. Now, speaking of winners, let's bring back out Colomer to join us for the end of the day here. Colomer, it was fantastic having you on the desk. I want to get your thoughts, though, since we got you back. Overall, on the day, how you feeling about the game? How you feeling about the players that we saw?
Feeling good, man. I was so happy we got 2 3-game series, and so that's what 4 in a row now for Path to LCS. So that's pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to watch the AOE GTC and 100 Thieves Academy rematch. Like, I know from talking to the guys over at AOE that they are so tired of people saying that was a fluke, because basically everyone wrote that off as a fluke. So I was talking to Keel earlier, and he specifically was like, yeah, I really hope we actually get to match them, because I want to prove to people that it was not a mistake that happened. So I'm really excited personally.
I think everyone's going to look at that best of 5 as the really exciting one coming up. Obviously, they're all exciting. But speaking of, let's take a look at the bracket so we can catch everybody up on what the next matches will be, because we're into best of 5s, baby. We're at the big stage in the tournament. The winner of these I'm so excited. I'm slapping my desk. The winner of these next series will play on the LCS stage in top 4. And Cubby, we know, we've talked to the players. That means a lot to them.
Best of 5s are just a different beast. Going from best of 2s to best of 3s is fun, but best of 5s, especially in a series that includes a team that has already picked Karthus jungle, Garen top. God, what else have these guys pulled out? Yeah, we haven't even seen like Duo King really reach down into his bag of tricks. This might be the craziest support pool that we've ever seen between 2 players that we have in proving grounds in that series. And best of 5s are where you get to really explore that. So I'm excited to see how our teams adapt throughout those series.
These teams, of course, battling for the chance to get into top 4 and go into the stage. So let's take a look at the upper bracket for one final reminder of the teams that have already locked in their tickets to that stage: Dignitas Academy and Cloud9 Academy. The loser will be then sent down to the lower bracket, of course, in those finals. But the winner of that best of 5 will move on to the championship. So next week, we have the last 2 lower bracket rounds before we are live in the studio. And I just cannot wait for that. Magical, we had so much fun last time.
Oh, yeah. I always have fun going to that kind of stuff. Just being in... And the thing is, this time, we'll actually have a crowd. You can go watch, by the way. You can go make sure to get tickets, and you can actually come and watch these games live. So the fact that we get a live crowd, being in studio is always just so much more fun, too, because even if we didn't have quite the live audience last time, we still had some, family members and friends that were there. So having them cheer on their other friends, their siblings, their sons, or whatever, it was just fun to have those people there in the crowd.
If Immortals Academy makes it, and Vital's mom is in the crowd, freaking out, that's the arc. That's the entire Academy arc right there, because she's in Twitch chat every single game hyping Vital up. But of course,
the chat.
Yeah, we love it. We love the support for all the players. That's all going to happen in the future. Right now, we got to wrap up the show. Colomer, you were fantastic to have on the desk with us. Really, round of applause for Colomer coming in, giving the coach kind of like GM perspective that we like to have on the show. So where can people find you? What are you up to these days?
Yeah, Twitter at @bcolomer. I tweet too much and delete half of them. Other than that, for any LCS teams that are looking to hire me, I am looking for roles in management for next split. So feel free to message me on Twitter or Discord or wherever that might be.
All right, there we go. I think. Wait, somebody's in the chat. Wait, who was that? Was that?
LinkedIn
probably-
doesn't
I
exist.
didn't see anybody's mouth move. Was that somebody that
It was
Chad could hear? I
producer
couldn't
Joey.
even
It was
tell.
producer Joey.
It was
you know?
producer Joey.
It was
There we go.
Joey.
LinkedIn. Everybody, make sure to
It
get
was
your
I
account
didn't hear
set up.
anything. There was nothing said. I'm pretty
Magical.
sure it was all in your
Sometimes
head.
all the voices just kind of echo in your head. You can't really tell who's whose. I understand. Speaking of Magical Cubby, great job on the cast today. You two were fantastic. Thank you to production, everybody for keeping the gears rolling, everyone in Twitch chat for hyping up the players, and especially the players for putting on the show. We would not have this show if it were not for all of the people
Great
that had the
series
drive to compete and make it to the LCS. That's it for the best of threes. We will see you back next week for more Proving Ground action as we enter best of fives. See you there.